Welcome back to our next episode of Watts and Drops. I'm Kirby Dolak of LCTV, and today we're here again with Corey Godfrey, Superintendent of Littleton Water Department, to discuss updates on projects that are underway and their impacts on Littleton residents. Today, we're going to focus in on the Littleton Common Sewer Project. Good morning, Corey. Welcome back to Watts and Drops.
Good morning, Kirby. Thanks for having me.
It's been a really long while, it seems, since we had a chance to discuss the Littleton Common Sewer Project. Can you please give us an update and the process that you're following?
Sure. Yeah, we've been busily working on the design of the system, which is now complete and is currently being reviewed by the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, or Mass DEP. When they finish their review, all of the permitting will then be complete and we'll be ready to put the project out to bid. So we expect that process to happen over the next couple of months. And following that, the received bids will be opened and we'll award a contract.
Wow, I know there have been a lot of supply chain and labor shortage issues these days. In fact, Nick, in his recent GM update, shared some of the lead time issues you've been facing. Now, do you expect any of those same issues to affect the sewer project?
Yes. While we expect to award a contract this fall, there's a large amount of material required for this project. And right now, some of those materials have pretty long lead times. 12-inch ductile iron pipe, for example, is 8 to 12 weeks out for delivery, which is not normal at all. And so as a result, construction may not even begin until early spring 2023. And based on a variety of current market conditions, material cost estimates range pretty widely and wildly. So as an effect of those conditions, we won't have a solid budget number to work with until we get all the bid results in a couple months.
So speaking of costs, I know that the water department has been applying for grants and loans to offset project costs. Can you give us any specific information on those?
Yeah. So we applied for a MassWorks grant, and we're hopeful that we'll receive $9 million for the sewer project from them. We also applied for a state revolving fund loan, or SRF loan. And the SRF program is specifically for water and wastewater projects and has very low interest rates. We use that program to finance construction of our new Whitcomb drinking water treatment plant. And the interest rate on that project is 0% because PFAS related projects get special financing. For the sewer project, the interest rate would be 1.5%, which is still a very good interest rate. In addition, the federal infrastructure program from President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, all of that money will be funneled through the SRF program. So the only way for water and wastewater systems to receive any of that money is by applying for an SRF loan. We don't yet know what that dollar amount might be, but we're hopeful the town will receive a significant amount of loan forgiveness, like we did for the Whitcomb water treatment plant. On that one, we received $5 million in loan forgiveness, so it can be pretty substantial.
Corey, I know you have a map of the proposed sewer system with you today. Can you please walk us through that, pointing out locations for the treatment plant, the discharge site, pump stations, and the service area for this first phase?
Sure. Yeah, let me bring that up on the screen here. Let me walk through the different components of the system. All right, so hopefully you can all see that now. So this is sort of a schematic map of the proposed sewer system. There's a legend on the right-hand side of the screen. It's basically showing you, highlighted in yellow, the parcels that are part of this phase one of the sewer system. It's showing locations of pump stations. The existing ones are in yellow and the proposed new ones are in blue and have P's on them. And then the rest of what you see in different colors here are the pipes in the ground, the sewer mains. So the dark red are proposed gravity mains. So that's primarily what you see in the common area on Great Road and King Street. The dashed orange is an existing force main. So that's a main that's under pressure coming out of the pump station. Let's see, the dashed red are some existing gravity mains, because if you recall, we do have a small existing sewer system providing service to the schools and town hall. And then we have dashed green is an existing pressure main, and that's really just from the fire station and historical society.
So that's one thing I just quickly wanted to mention or remind folks about is you do have an existing sewer system,
Right.
and a lot of this is a build out on that existing system.
That's correct. Yeah, we're really expanding on the existing system. It's a significant expansion and overhaul, but we're not abandoning all of the old infrastructure. So, for example, those existing force mains and pressure mains will stay in place, be reused. The pump station at the middle school, which if you can see my cursor circling around it right now, that's actually an existing pump station. It's being shown as a new pump station because we will be renovating it and making some major improvements on it. But that's already in place, and we'll be reusing, the major footprint of it, anyways.
So will that new treatment facility that's going down parallel to 495, will you be able to see it from 495 or from Russell Street?
No, you won't. That was one of the reasons why we chose that site. It's the location of the actual facility will be tucked way back into the site, and all of the mature trees along the brook, because Beaver Brook runs right along here. All of those mature trees and the mature trees along 495 will remain in place. So the facility itself should not be visible from anywhere other than someone going down the driveway.
Great. So you're going to do a good job of preserving the footprint that's there from the Conservation Trust and the Commission Group. I'm sure they're pretty pleased with that.
Yeah.
For the residents in the Phase 1 service area that are in that yellowed area, resident properties have the option to opt in or opt out of connecting to this system. Do you have a sense for the percentages of how many residential properties will or won't connect? And how are residents or businesses contacted about this first phase?
Yeah, to prepare for the first phase, we sent letters out to everyone in the sewer service area, notifying them to submit an opt-out form by June 30th. They had a little over 2 months to do that. And so we received only 7 opt-out applications out of the 55 residential properties in this first phase. So that's a little under 8%. And based on a lot of the property owners we've talked to, most people are very excited to be able to connect to the system.
That's great that residents are supporting the project so enthusiastically, Corey. Now, where can residents ask or find current status information about the project once it gets underway? Are there dedicated pages on the Littleton Water Department site that residents can look to for weekly updates? Is there a contact point at LWD folks can reach out to?
Yeah, there's a page on our website. It's at lelwd.com/sewer. And there's a lot more information that can be found there. And you can even sign up to be notified anytime that page is updated with new information. So you just enter your email address in, hit submit, and then we'll contact you every time we update the page. And here in the office, I'm the main contact. So if anyone has any questions, they can call the main office at 978-540-2222 and ask to speak with me.
Corey, we appreciate your time today. Can you tell us what's next for the sewer project? When can we next expect to hear from you again?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we expect to send the project out to bid and have a contract in place by early fall. So at that point, we'll notify everyone in town about the expected construction schedule and expected roadway impacts. Phase 1 of the project will probably take 18, maybe 24 months to build. And a lot of that work will be in and under state roads, which will likely require night work to minimize traffic disruptions. And once we have more information, I'd be happy to come back on LCTV in the fall to provide more details.
That would be great, Corey. Is there anything else happening in your department? I know that we've got a little problem with water. Anything you want to mention quickly about the water situation in Littleton?
Oh, you're referring to the drought?
Yeah, a little drought there that we're all experiencing.
Yeah, it's been very hot, very dry. So the state actually declared a drought. I think it was sometime last month, and then they just upgraded it this past Friday. So it's getting worse and worse. We're getting very little rainfall. So that's creating a lot of demand for water, a lot of outdoor water demand. So we've put water restrictions in place. So basically there's no irrigation allowed whatsoever right now. People are still allowed their water, their vegetable gardens, and allowed to water by hand between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., but there's no sprinkler or irrigation use allowed right now. And we are out patrolling and issuing written warnings and even fines if people don't comply after the first written warning. So be cognizant of that.
You know, we do need to share a common resource. Once again, Corey Godfrey, Superintendent of the Littleton Water Department. Thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to you sharing more of Phase 1 project details with town residents.
Thanks, Kirby. It was my pleasure.